As I embark on my journey through womanhood, I've realized how much responsibility comes with being a woman. I've held space for so many other people to heal, and most of that healing has come at the expense of sharing my mind, my body, and my spirit. Even in my darkest hours or my lowest points, I embody a nurturer. I give, I listen, and I love. I've had to minimize and suppress who I am for as long as I've known. All of my quirks, all of my desires, myself, suppressed. I've become accustomed to taking up less space and having less of a personality. And as I find myself and discover my own femininity, I've made peace with the fact that I am sensual, I am sexual, I have desires, and this is nothing to shun or be ashamed of. I'm responsible for my mind, my body, and my spirit. I can hold space for others while also holding space for me because, again, I am ultimately my responsibility. Hey, so I am on my way to head out to get this IUD placed. I'm super early. It's right down the street, but I want to make sure I get there earlier rather than later because there was some issues with my insurance. I've been fighting, y'all. I've been fighting to try to get this thing placed. So let's hope that whenever I get there, they allow me to. Come on. Come on. Come on. So I'm here early. I want to double, triple check to make sure I'm at the right location. My appointment is at 1 and it is currently 12:38. So I have enough time to double check all the insurance, copay, all of that. Fingers crossed everything goes as planned, and then after I'm done with the entire procedure, I'll come back and go about my day and kind of explain to you all like why I'm here, how I got here, and the reason why I made this decision. Fingers crossed all the insurance stuff goes to play because insurance likes to plant in my damn face. I forgot to mention that they suggest you take Tylenol or ibuprofen 30 minutes before your procedure, 800 milligrams. And luckily enough, I have like my little medicine container in my car with Tylenol, so I will take, I think I'm supposed to take 3, but I'm gonna take 2 because I don't remember the dosage. Oops. Do not urinate for at least 1 hour prior to visit because you're gonna take a pregnancy test, so that's cool. I'm drinking this right now, which is fire. It's from Health Aid, which is a kombucha. It's kind of like Olipop or any type of probiotic drink. Please abstain from having any unprotected sex. Haven't been doing that. And I think that's it. So let me pop these pills and go ahead. Oh, I wasn't supposed to fast either, and I didn't fast. I had a protein shake. Okay, now let's go for real. Okay, so it is about 5 hours after my insertion. And I was like, that was probably the best time to kind of like share why I'm here and what made me decide to get the IUD. About, I want to say a year and a half ago, I went on a celibacy journey. What prompted me to become celibate is I got my feelings like finally hurt after damn near 30 years of being in interesting relationships. I finally felt what it felt like to like someone and have it not be reciprocated. So I told myself I probably needed to take a break and discover who I was and figure out what it was that I wanted, not only from relationships but from sex. Taking that time off, that was whenever I was 29, and as soon as I turned 30, which was like a few months into my celibacy journey, I had the strongest sexual desires. Like science, I'm sure this has been studied. I've heard people say like as you get older as a woman, your sex drive increases, but that was definitely the case for me. And some time goes by. I'm in my 30s, and then finally I fell off my celibacy journey with the same person that I really ended up liking. And I think that kind of started the phase of me. Do you hear low-level buzzing? Hold on. Does that sound better? I hope y'all don't hate me for that buzzing. Anyway, you know, that me slipping up in my journey kind of started the self-discovery of my own sexuality. And essentially I was trying to still maintain the celibacy thing, but just like the desires were unfortunately extremely strong. And it kind of makes me wish that my 20s were more... I wish I had the tools to at least be in a relationship at this point in my life so that I could share myself with one person, and have all the fun, but that's not my current reality. And I am a person who does just like to be with one person at a time. So, you know, as I'm trying to fulfill my needs at the moment, I'm also essentially like giving myself grace to not find the best person and to still get my needs met. And through discovering this, I'm recognizing that a lot of these dudes out here, a lot of people don't like to use condoms. A lot of people are very risky sexually, and I've never been that way. I've always loved condoms. Birth control doesn't work well with me. I have a lot of adverse reactions to it, which is the reason why I'm not just on the pill or the patch, which was my favorite of all of the birth control because it was a little bit more long-term, similar to the IUD. Birth control is not long-term. You put it on once a week, you take it off, and then on the last week of the month, so on the 4th week, you take it off completely, and then you end up getting a period. So as I discover myself and figure out, you know, what it is I'm doing as far as like my sexuality, I just wanted to be as safe as possible. I'm also in this phase where I'm not sure if I ever want kids. A lot of me thinks that I don't. I'm also not sure if I ever want to be married or in a long-term relationship. A lot of me thinks that I don't. I am not per se sure if I'm just extremely traumatized and afraid of love, or if I'm just not capable of it. A follower recently posed the term aromantic to me. Never knew that term until they let me know. So I'm like, you know, that could be it. It could be trauma. It could be, who knows? It could be anything. But yeah, at the age of 31, I wanted to essentially finally take ownership of my body and put myself in a predicament where I can explore myself and be safe as I potentially find a lifelong partner, or figure out if that's what I even want, or figure out if, you know, I'm just having fun at the moment. I don't know. So that is the reason why I got an IUD. At the moment, as you can see, I mean, I'm out and about. I definitely feel like I'm cramping. It feels like the first day of a period. The side effects that I've heard is that you have harder bleeding potentially. Depending on your uterus, it could reject the IUD. So I have to like be careful with that. If anything feels weird, I can always go back and they can check it. The pain for it, just so you all know. It is very uncomfortable. It's a very strange sensation. I've never had anyone inside of me. Up there? Here, yeah. Here, no. So I can only imagine what pregnancy feels like, because yikes. Very uncomfortable sensation. They refer to it as a pinch. I wouldn't even say that. It's its own thing. But after the measurement part, which is the first thing, so the start of it is kind of like a pap smear. They go in further to the uterus, measure it. Didn't like that at all. That's what really was uncomfortable. And they measure it to make sure they don't rupture the uterine wall. I'm not a doctor or NP, so I'm not sure, but I think that's what she said. Then after they measure it, they go in and they actually insert the IUD. Ouch. Very uncomfortable. And then, you know, they stop. She takes out the speculum, the thing that they put in for a pap smear. And you kind of have like a low level, like, but immediately after they take the measurement tool out and they put the, what is the thing called? they put the IUD in, the pain like decreases drastically. So it goes from like a 10 and then it drastically comes down to about a 6. And then by the time you get up and, you know, talk a little bit, you put your clothes on, it's down to like a 3. Then whenever I left out, it was at probably like closer to a 4 because it felt like period cramps. And I went home, ate, and then I kind of like sat down for a little bit in the way that you would whenever you have period cramps. Like, let me sit down and like let nature do its thing. And I was like, all right, it's time for me to get up. I ate and I left out and I've kind of just gone about my day. And again, it just feels like low level period cramps. I have some more ibuprofen that I'm going to remember to take. Thank you for reminding me. I have to take these with me. I made sure to put them right here so that I didn't forget and almost still did. So yeah, that is the story of my IUD, why I got my IUD. If you all have any questions, drop them down below. And yeah, I think I want to talk more about sexuality. So if you're interested in that, feel free to stick around, follow me on Instagram. I post a lot more on there. And let me know of any questions. Okay, bye. Mwah. My decision to get an IUD is connected to my journey of self-discovery, femininity, and being responsible for myself. I no longer want to fear being placed in a situation that I'm unsure I even want yet. At this moment, I'm very pleased with this current decision, and I hope to find an individual I can explore not only the desires of flesh, but desires of companionship, potential feelings about romance, and even love. Thanks for watching.